Tonight, we have proof that, man, it's hard to be reasonable. It is much easier to be rash, and that's why we see such extreme positions all the time. So I start off with this first issue. The president made a new play for peace in the Middle East. Did you see what he put out? Tell Hamas to immediately, all caps, give back all 20 hostages, not 2 or 5 or 7, and things will change rapidly. It will end. Wish he was right. I also wish he had added that Hamas must surrender to end this war. They started it and constantly say they will attack again. Now, I'm not saying they started it like a child. I'm saying it because only then will the onus, the burden shift to Israel to stop the war. They have their people back. There is surrender. There must be peace. And there is no questioning that this has gone on too long and has been too destructive to too much and too many. It is a sickening state of affairs. I have covered it from the beginning and long before, from all sides. I have been there. I have donated openly to you, to the kids who are affected in Gaza. There are no clean hands in war. But many disagree with our president and say Israel is the most to blame because they are conducting a genocide. And that the latest in the story is that that claim went from an opinion to a resolution, like a matter of fact, because of what we just learned from the International Association of Genocide Scholars. Many sent word to me of their resolution, especially a clip from an old colleague of mine at CNN, the first Western reporter to show us this war-torn Gaza. Now she's reporting this group's resolution and calling out the lack of attention to it, that we all have a responsibility. Now, I respect this reporter tremendously and the situation that we are all witnessing. But the lack of attention, the responsibility is really about how faulty this resolution is and calling it out. And I'll give you the facts, and you can feel any way you want. First, the headline. 90% of 500 genocide scholars say Israel is committing genocide. Man, that is damning. If it's true, but it isn't. Less than a third of the membership voted, just 28%. And one member told us, why did so few vote? Because they felt unqualified to judge. Now, you go look at the different renditions of this story, and you will see how few are saying what I just told you, which is a matter of fact. Why do you think that is? The report also does not mention that the group usually debates and then votes. Here, no debate. Why not? Isn't that what academics do? I may be using the wrong word, too, by calling them academics or scholars. Why? Because not all were experts, let alone scholars. Some are just artists and activists, including one doctor who said Israeli and American officials need to be taken out and neutralized. Now, this fact sheds light on this reckless introductory statement, or salvo, the way I see it, that the group made. According to official UN estimates, the IDF has killed more than 59,000 in Gaza. Now, that's a number, 59,000, that you see all the time on social media. An official UN estimate. What does that mean? Go to the UN website. They list a single source for this official estimate, and you know what it is? The Gaza Ministry of Health. You know who controls that? Hamas. The key to the finding is that Israel has the intent to kill all Gazans. What is their lead piece of proof? What do they tell you first? Israel's former defense minister, Gallant is his last name, who said Israel is fighting human animals. Now, Gallant says he was referring to a Hamas, not all Palestinians, but that context isn't included. We actually found it somewhere else. Here's my take. I see this push to call this a genocide as another example of the increasing extremist thinking in our politics. Everything is exaggerated for effect in our politics, and this is very dangerous. And it really is just about politics. Here's the reality. Do you remember when the Nazis allowed all those Jews to stay safe in Germany during the Holocaust? Me neither. Because they rounded up all they could, brutalized, massacred, burned. That's genocide, like Hamas did on October 7th. Right now, do you know who are living as full citizens, working, raising families, and voting in Israel? Arabs. 20% of Israel's population. Most of Palestinian descent. Why do they let any aid in at all? Why warn of attacks? Why treat the wounded? Why not go in on the ground and take out as many as they can? If this is their intention, that's the question that you have to ask. So yeah, I'll report about this resolution. I don't think the organization is what they say they are. I don't think the facts are what they say they are. And I don't think the conclusion deserves the regard that they want to give it. But you tell me. Now, I want to pivot because we got two big dogs on the show today. I told you Epstein is not going away. It was sold too much and too deep by too many. And you may not like it. You may be bored by it. That's too bad. Because now you see Democrats and Republicans are on the chase with this, okay? And they want the release of all the Epstein files. Now comes what should have been expected. If you won't do it, someone else will. The survivors of Jeffrey Epstein. They are now saying, you want a list? We'll give you a list.
Several of us Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list of names. We know the names. Many of us were abused by them. Now, together as survivors, we will confidentially compile the names we all know were regularly in the Epstein world.
There's nothing worse than abusing children. And if they have proof and they could put names to it, we're going to have another chapter on this. That should have been expected. What was not expected was this.
Today, he called it a hoax while these women were speaking out and they were saying, we're not a hoax. We're human beings. Yeah. It's not a hoax because Jeffrey Epstein is a convicted pedophile. That takes away the whole hoax things. It's not a hoax. It's not a lie. One of the Trump admin officials came out and called this a hostile act against the Trump administration. And I take very big offense to that because I put my life and my fortune on the line fighting to get that man elected. And whoever said that has their job because of people like me that fought all the horrible Republicans that stabbed him in the back.
Whoever thought you'd hear MTG? When she says he, she's talking about Trump, that she is calling out for not handling this the right way. Now, what is the president's posture towards this? Here it is.
From what I understand, I could check, but from what I understand, thousands of pages of documents have been given, but it's really a Democrat hoax because they're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president.
I don't know that that is going to sell. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.